Hi, my name is Eric Pasquich, Director of Entrepreneurship at Propeller, and today I'm going to be talking to you about hiring for impact for your early learning center. So, in preparing for hiring, we need to go through a 7-step process. We need to know our financial position, conduct a job analysis, determine the worker type, develop hiring timelines, develop your recruitment plan, hire for values and skills, and finally, onboard your hire for success. Step 1 is knowing your financial position. In order to understand our financial position, we need to project forward costs and revenues using sound assumptions. And we need to understand how adding an employee will affect costs and revenues. Hiring an employee involves a variety of costs, some hard costs, some soft costs. Hard costs would include payroll tax, workers' compensation, wages, any benefits offered, while soft costs include any costs associated with recruitment, evaluation, selection, training, and onboarding. Indirect costs may include space for your employee, equipment, infrastructure, or IT, and some long-term costs to consider are retention and morale, professional development, and advancement. In understanding our financial position, we need to have a clear vision of what our first hire will free us up to accomplish, so we can quantify that vision into an increase in customers, contracts, and revenues. We should be clear about what assumptions inform our projections, and that will allow us to set target benchmarks for revenue to green flag a hiring process. You may also use financial projection tools provided by Propeller to help evaluate your hiring readiness. Step 2 is to conduct a job analysis. The job analysis involves all of the roles, responsibilities, and skills associated with the position that you're hiring for. So this will include the job purpose, duties and responsibilities, relevant skills and qualifications, work environment and conditions, performance criteria, decision-making and autonomy, interpersonal and communication skills, challenges in problem solving, as well as training and development. We can help with this process as Propeller has sample job descriptions available for facility director, lead teacher, teacher assistant, as well as food service coordinator. Step 3 is to decide on your worker type. You may consider adding capacity through outsourcing, hiring of part-time or full-time employees, or independent contractors. In terms of outsourcing, this refers to the hiring of a third party to handle specific core functions of your business. Commonly outsourced functions include bookkeeping, marketing, HR, and logistics. In determining whether to outsource, consider the value of your time and the amount of time that it would take you to replicate this service. For example, if I value my time at $25 per hour and bookkeeping cost me $200 per month, hiring a bookkeeper would probably be a good idea if I spent more than 8 hours per month on it. In terms of determining W-2 employees versus 1099 independent contractors, the IRS has 3 common law rules that involve behavioral, financial, and the type of relationship that you have with this employee. In terms of behavioral, the questions you should be asking yourself is, does the company control or have the right to control what the worker does and how the worker does his or her job? Financially, you should consider, are the business aspects of the worker's job controlled by the payer? And finally, in determining the type of relationship, are there written contracts or employee-type benefits? Will this relationship continue, and is the work performed a key aspect of the business? From there, we develop hiring timelines. Your hiring timeline should outline all key dates associated with this process, including when the job description is posted, the application deadline, the process for candidate evaluation, whether you are going through phone screens, interviews, trial days, or any other evaluation activities. You should also list out the decision date, the anticipated start date, any onboarding timelines and milestones, and any dates and timelines for onboarding materials that will be necessary for this new hire. From there, we develop a recruitment plan. You should consider a variety of modes of recruitment to develop the strongest possible candidate pool. You may consider job boards, such as national job boards like Indeed, Monster, Idealist, and Craigslist, as well as local job boards like WorkNola. You may also want to leverage personal and professional networks. This may include industry supporting organizations, labor unions, universities, accreditation and certification programs, workforce development programs, as well as your own owned marketing channels such as social media and your website. You may also consider remote work platforms such as Upwork. Next, we want to ensure that we are hiring for values and skills. Values are the driving principles or beliefs that push an organization forward. Values provide for both clarity in decision-making and in communications. As you grow, you cannot be everywhere all at once, nor can you draw up a handbook that will outline every single situation for your employees. A strong set of values provides clarity to your employees in unclear situations. Additionally, it provides clarity in communications to your customers because values allow you to differentiate your brand from others, to employees because values set expectations for employees and attract employees who want to work for like-minded people, and to partners. Living out your values demonstrates value to potential partners. You may also consider the following types of values and how they may influence your hiring process. Core values are deeply ingrained principles that guide all of a company's actions. Aspirational values are values that a company needs for success in the future but may currently lack. Permission to play values are the minimum behavioral or social standard required of any employee, and accidental values are values that arise spontaneously without being cultivated by leadership and take hold over time. You may also consider the variety of skills and how they may influence your hiring process. Foundational skills are the basic proficiencies needed to operate in a given role. Core skills are skills that deliver a competitive advantage. Adaptive skills are the abilities to pivot in response to change. And future-forward skills are markers of potential for growth into new or expanded roles. And finally, step 7 is to onboard your hire for success. 1 month prior to hiring, you should develop a timeline that clearly outlines how your employee will gain and demonstrate competencies over a 90-day period. You should create an onboarding checklist that ensures completion of all relevant paperwork and processes. 1 week prior to hiring, you should organize all information and materials needed to onboard, including employee manuals, uniforms, logins, or other resources. You should also communicate the official start dates with the candidate via email or phone. Finally, during the first week, you should develop regular check-ins to verify understanding of expectations of their role, and you should also deliver affirming and corrective feedback. So putting it all together, we have a 7-step process for hiring. We need to know our financial position, conduct a job analysis, determine the type of workers that we need, develop a hiring and onboarding timeline, developing our recruitment plan, then we hire through values and onboard for success. Please see our other materials on Propeller's website for more information about how to grow your early learning center.